No one's above the law in the United States. That's a foundational principle that I've talked about, coming from Federalist 69, coming from the structure of the Constitution. We're all equal before the law in the United States of America. A president is not above the law with respect to the criminal process. No one is above the law in our constitutional system. Federalist 69, Hamilton makes clear all the ways that the executive branch, as designed by the framers of the Constitution, was different from the monarchy.
If that's the case, then why did he let Trump get away with this?
Former presidents are entitled to absolute immunity for official acts.
Now the dictator in waiting won't shut up about the fact that he's going to have immunity if he becomes president again.
He has unleashed a horrible thing because, that can happen the other way around too. But the Supreme Court came out with an incredible decision this week, and I have great respect for the courage that they've shown. Great respect for the courage that they've shown. They have great intellect and great insight, incredible insight. They got it. They saw what was happening.
You know what the real kicker is about all of this? Kavanaugh wasn't the only one who lied.
I don't think the president is above the law. No person in this country, no matter how high or powerful, is above the law.
I believe that no one is above the law under our system, and that includes the president. The president is fully bound by the law, the Constitution, and statutes.
There you go. That was Roberts, that was Alito, and they've all gotten together, the 6 conservative judges, and they've decided that Trump is above the law as long as it's an official act. So the question becomes, what defines an official act? And we saw in the arguments, Justice Sotomayor had asked, well, what if the president orders Navy SEAL Team 6 to kill his opponent and calls it an official act? And she asked Trump's lawyer in the arguments, well, would that be considered that he's immune from punishment there? And the lawyer had said, actually, it would go back to Congress. It would fall upon Congress to impeach him and then the Senate to convict him, which we all know is not going to happen because it hasn't happened. I mean, Trump basically tried to overthrow democracy on January 6th. We all saw it with our own eyes. Even the Republicans were admitting that day that Trump had been guilty of leading that insurrection or attempted insurrection at the Capitol. And Mitch McConnell famously said that the courts will have to punish him. He said, we don't want to convict him in the Senate. So we saw he got away with it. So basically, McConnell and Congress and the Senate, I should say the Senate punted it to the courts, and then the courts are now saying, well, let's punt it back and let's delve a little bit deeper. What's an official act? What can a president get away with? This is very dangerous stuff. I have a friend of mine who's a Republican who was saying, actually, it's a good decision that they made because then you won't have court cases coming against presidents for acts that they might do. Let's say, for example, under Obama, they said that some American citizens were killed during drone strikes in Pakistan. My Republican friend was saying, well, they could go after Obama for that. I said, well, first of all, this is a very different situation than what Trump has done and continues to do. Trump actually took classified documents and would not give them back. Trump tried to lead an insurrection and overthrow a democratically elected president. Trump has said that he's going to seek vengeance on anyone who's criticized him. He is a sick human being, and these justices have now given him the power to do whatever he wants if he were to win. The fact that the justices said that presidents are immune from official acts and nobody said, well, now Joe Biden can start doing some really illegal stuff and go after Trump and do stuff to him. Nobody said that. We all see that really the danger is Trump and the Republican Party, this far-right party that has instilled 6 highly conservative judges in the Supreme Court, and they're just giving more and more power to the presidency. We know that the people that want more and more power in the presidency, this all started under the Nixon administration. They wanted more power for the president to be able to do whatever he wants, get away with it. You've got people that are proponents of this, like Roger Stone, your Steve Bannons. They all want a president that can do whatever he wants. That's what Project 2025 is about. It's about giving the power to the president and having the president be able to say on day one, we're going to expel 11 million immigrants from this country, undocumented immigrants from this country. How are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Well, the president has full power. He'll use the Army Reserve to go out and set up little stops along the roads where you're driving down the street. And if you happen to be with a relative that's a little darker skinned, they're going to pull you over, ask you for your papers, and then kick you out. Also, what's that going to do to the economy when you don't have these people that are working? The undocumented workers are a lot of the people who work in our economy. They're the ones who are picking those fruits that you eat. So what's going to happen to inflation? It's going to go up. Why? Because the president now has unprecedented power. This is really, really dangerous stuff. And Donald Trump is loving it because he's really, ultimately, at the core, he is a wannabe mob boss. He grew up in New York. He was surrounded by mobsters, and he considers himself a mobster. We saw in his first presidency, he was asking his Secretary of Defense if he could shoot some of the protesters in the knees. I mean, who says that? Who says that? It's not a democratically elected president that says that. It's a dictator who says that. Trump loves Putin. He loves Kim Jong-un. He loves Viktor Orban. And now this Supreme Court has given him the power to do whatever he wants. This is dangerous territory, folks. This is not at all hyperbole. This is dangerous territory. And the court is corrupted. I mean, Clarence Thomas keeps taking money and going on trips and having a great time. Once I saw what Clarence Thomas is getting left and right, I thought I should have been a Supreme Court justice. Who knew the life of a Supreme Court justice was so glamorous? It's better than any other job. It's that you get all these millions and millions of dollars of gifts and vacations, and all you got to do is not recuse yourself when a court case comes to you from one of these corporations, one of these billionaires who wants you to vote for them. Justice Alito. I mean, talk about corrupted. His wife is nuts. Clarence Thomas's wife is nuts. And these people are the people who they actually probably thought that the election was stolen, when we all know with our own eyes it was not stolen. So what's happened is the far right has creeped its way now, not only into Congress, but also into the Supreme Court. And that's another reason why anybody who's paying attention should vote for the Democratic president, whoever it is, whoever the Democratic nominee ends up being, whether it's Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or, I don't care, a flat tire. Vote for the flat tire. Because if you don't, these guys have now taken full control of the government. And they intend to come after you. They intend to come after your relatives. They're going to they've already taken away a woman's right to choose. They're going to take away religious minorities' rights. They're going to continue to deport people left and right. They're going to go after anybody who criticizes them. I'm a comedian. I perform all over the world. But when I perform in certain parts of the world, like in the Middle East, a lot of times where they have kings, they say you can't make fun of the king. The whole point of America is that we've been able to make fun of our president all these years. We've been able to criticize our president all these years. But we're going to end up in a world where if you criticize the president, someone's going to come knocking on your door. And it could be the DOJ. It could be the IRS. Someone's coming after you. So please pay attention. They're taking away your rights little by little, led by the Supreme Court, led by all of these far right-wing Project 2025 guys, and led by really one of the worst megalomaniacs who's ever walked the earth, Donald Trump. I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I have a special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. Watch it. Check it out. If you like it, tell your friends. If you don't like it, keep it to yourselves. Bye.